All right, here we go, folks. Oof. All right, here we go, men. Feeling so inspired in this moment, so present, so still and peaceful, so ready to share this message with you today. Brothers in arms, surrounding yourself with great men. Today's podcast episode, guys, has been heavily inspired by my recent trip to one of my really close friends' bachelor parties in Jackson, Wyoming. We visited Yellowstone National Park, the Grand Tetons. We explored, we enjoyed the mountains, we explored caves, we swam and did cold plunges in waterfalls, rivers, streams, rope swings. We connected, we supported, we adventured, we overcame. Powerful. And it heavily inspired this episode. Brothers in arms, surrounding yourself with great men. Peeps, the purpose of today's podcast episode is really just to tell the story of this recent bachelor party I was on and the coming together that happened during. And also to tell the stories of countless retreats that I have hosted, men's retreats that is, and to share, and this is the big one, the biggest project I have created yet. So make sure to stick around to the end of this episode to hear about this really big announcement. I'm so excited, I'm actually calm. That's interesting to be aware of for me. So definitely listen, because this episode is really in my invitation to all of you to get involved and to let yourselves be seen, be accepted, be loved, and to realize your own power. But first, I want to start with the inspiration. This poem I wrote was inspired on this trip, and again, is an inspiration from the men who came and experienced this last week, and all of the men who I've had the pleasure of working with at the Leaders to Legends Men's Retreat experience. I just want you to close your eyes when you're ready and just feel these words. Where my brother goes, I go, through and through. It's in this space I understand you. I put my faith in you, my trust, my spirit, my heart. It's this level of vulnerability that sets us apart. It's the courage within that forges the bond. It's this energy of trust that goes on and on. Brother to brother, heart to heart. Being with you feels like the start of something beautiful, spontaneous, connected and real. Something that creates the space for me to heal. In my darkest hour, I lean on you all. It's because of your love I do not fall. In my lightest hour, I rise a king. It's you, my friends, who honor me. With your genius, your presence, your lessons, your gifts. Brother to brother, heart to heart, king to king, I submit. That in this world I may have finally found a group of men that won't stand down. Men who will stand by my side through stormy seas. Men who will help me fulfill my dreams. Men who will support me, teach me, build and expand. Men who want nothing more than to lend a hand. It's through you I grow, and it's through you I rise. A king of my kingdom, eagle of the skies. We come together for a common cause, to live life fully, freely, flawed. It's in this connection with myself and you, hand in hand, heart in heart, we build something new. It's with you, my brothers, my power is awakened. Kings of love, angels of a safe haven. One unit, one mission, one message. Brothers in arms, forever connected. One unit, one mission, one message. Brothers in arms, forever connected. Oh my gosh. Powerful. I feel it in my stomach, just so deep, so real, so visceral. I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking and reflecting. I mean, man, to be on this trip with these men, such powerful men, like men who really are changing the world by changing themselves. I truly firmly believe that. And to reflect on the incredible men's retreats that I've been able to host, and just seeing how every single time a group of men come together and connect, more of their power is realized. Every time men come together to connect, to grow, to explore, they end up leaving with more than they could have ever bargained for. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to my friend Ben for hosting just such a different type of bachelor party experience. So much more based on just connection between the guys, adventure in a new place for all of us, with challenges and obstacles, moments of men stepping into leadership, and leaving legends naturally. And I just think there's so much in this. And this is a bachelor party where it was all about getting out there and pushing and experiencing new things, and everyone getting outside their comfort zone. And when I think about that and the retreats that I've hosted, there's so much correlation. I think the big difference was that this was new for a lot of the guys that came. They'd never experienced like a brotherhood energy like that. That's just an unbelievable oxytocin release of an 18-mile hike we did through Yellowstone backcountry. We drove from Victor, Idaho, about an hour and a half, right before the southern entrance to Yellowstone, and then about 15 miles west into the forest. And then we hiked 9 more miles into the forest, to this place called Union Falls, which is the second tallest waterfall in Yellowstone. And on the way out there, we drove through some of the most beautiful country in the world. We saw a female mom moose and a baby moose drinking from the stream with an unbelievable Teton background overlooking them. And yeah, we hiked through swarms of mosquitoes. We crossed a stream. We walked through the densest forest that I've ever been. That's Yellowstone, unbelievably dense. I mean, I couldn't even see more than 10 feet in front of me, or on either side of me, because of how intense the forest growth was, how green, how lush, how pristine. Yeah, it was truly incredible. There was even a point where we saw bear claws scratching up the trees. We saw bear poop, and then at one point we actually heard, myself and another person in the party who were a little bit further behind the main group, heard barking, which at first I thought was like a dog, but then my mind was like, because there are dogs out here, so what the hell was that? And later I discovered that it's what grizzly bears do when they're agitated or annoyed. And so it was just an incredible experience to be out there, 9 of us in the wilderness, and just have so much imminent danger around us, and still yet come together and be loud, be connected. We didn't see one animal all day, and that's because of how loud we were, how much we were trying to scare away things that could potentially harm us, and how much space we wanted to create for ourselves, how much of a boundary we wanted to put between us and those other things. It was incredible, so challenging, and everyone in that party had a moment where they got to step into leadership and help support the team. It was a long day. I mean, 18 miles was an 8-hour hike. It was like 43,000 steps for me. It was insane. And I just wanted to touch on this story because I just think that so much of what Leaders to Legends is about, and throughout the week, all kinds of awesome L2L lingo is being dropped. Legends find a way. This person's a legend, that person's a legend for what they did on this hike. It was so epic. Talking about the sauce, we were in the sauce all freaking week. It was just so exciting and so cool. And there's so much parallel between that and the other men's retreats that I've had the pleasure of hosting, of just these unbelievable natural obstacles and the natural moments of leadership that each person gets an opportunity to step into. And witnessing that is just beyond inspiring. And it was just such a life-changing experience for me to be there with these guys and watch them expand and grow, and watch myself expand and grow too. There's so many things I've never done before. I did like a 25-foot rope swing. I mean, I was the last one in our column, so I knew the bears were like around me, and I knew that if anything happened, I was on the back, and like they were going to be moving to me first. And just the amount of times I thought about being mauled, attacked, eaten by a bear, and we continued onward into the fray to get to this incredible waterfall, which we had to then hike down and scale like a kind of like a cliff area that was super muddy. I mean, it was just so powerful and so visceral and so real and primal, and there was just so much naturalness to it, and I could just feel the energy of my ancestors just flowing through me in the activities that would have mirrored their experience in life. Living in South Florida, Boca Raton is so vastly different than living in a primitive space like our ancestors not that long ago. And so it was just so cool to regain touch and regain an element of that. And I just wanted to thank all the guys for coming, and that experience was just so life changing. And it's just a continued testament to what happens when you surround yourself. When I surround myself with other really great men, these are guys that are crushing it in all disciplines of their life, in their careers. They're having their most successful years. Personally, they're open to learning about themselves, exploring themselves, growing who they are as men. In their relationships, they're committed or are learning to commit to, and in their free time, exploring new hobbies, new exciting ways to experience life. And so I just want to thank those guys for making the trip just so incredible for me. I mean, there was just, oh my gosh, there were so many stories and so many moments. I mean, beyond that, we also hiked this incredible mountain, the Jedediah Smith State Forest, like 30 minutes north of Victor, Idaho. And we hiked into a mountain waterfall, and then in the back of it was a cave, and we like crawled through a little hole and ended up in the mountain, and we were like in it for like couple hundred yards, and it was the scariest thing that I've ever done in my freaking life. I swear, I was so scared. Anything could have happened to us in there, and it was just powerful. Again, everyone had a chance to lead, and there was one person in our group, and he was like, "No, we're gonna go in. Let's do it." And we all pushed through. There were five of us. It was just beautiful. And then afterwards, I did I think the coldest cold plunge maybe of my life for 3.5 minutes underneath this waterfall. And I have video of it, and it was just so challenging and so it just required everything I had. And that's what this trip did. It required so much presence that it actually paved way for a new level of grounding, a deeper. It's like the way I can think of it is like peeling of the Earth's crust, like new, or even better, new layers of the onion were peeled back because of the unbelievable demand it had in the present moment for us to be aware, for me to be conscious of the crew, for me to be aware of each person and what they were doing, to make sure we all get back safely. And it required all of us to think in that way towards each other, which obviously paved the way for this deeper connection, this stronger bond, and ultimately the most empowering trip that I've been on at all this year. So it was super cool, and I'm just so grateful. And yeah, I mean it just the next level of it, and that I see is just like mirrored in the retreats that I've been able to host this year and in years prior of just the moments, the beautiful experiences, and then also the miracles and the transformations, right? The coming together leading to healing and transformation, the presence leading to stillness and confrontation, the peace, again, healing and remembering, and the power of transformation and actually changing who you are, changing mentally, changing physically, changing spiritually, leaving an experience knowing that you can't go back to who you were before that because you had just gotten out of your comfort zone to that level. And it was just so freaking awesome and so incredible, and I'm just so grateful for that experience. And this really kind of opens up for what I wanted to share about today. And I think that this episode is mostly just it's mostly just this poem that I wanted to share a little bit about this experience that I just had is the inspiration for what I'm about to share, which is that August 1st, I'm going to be starting my largest endeavor yet, my most complete work, and the thing that I'm the most excited about launching, I think, ever in my life. And that is the Leaders into Legends men's group experience. And why I want to create this is because I want to inspire men to reclaim their power, awaken their infinite potential, and change the world by changing themselves. And I say reclaim their power because on this trip and on all of the men's retreats I've hosted, I've just seen this reclaiming, this realizing, this stepping into that which I've always been, but have been afraid to fully embrace, fully embody, fully express, fully wield. That's the power, right? And the way in which that we're going to be doing that is finding presence, embodying peace, and wielding the power with honor and grace. Honor in the highest respect and esteem, and grace with elegance, with a touch, with a delicacy, with a fine point. And through that, I really believe that a lot of you men who are listening and those of you who have yet to find this space are going to reclaim your power. You're going to awaken your infinite potential and change the world by changing yourself. You're going to feel the fulfillment and fulfill the purpose of a man who is building a kingdom, of a man who has surrounded himself with great men, of a man who has morals, of a man who lives his own way, of a man who pushes his own boundary, of a man who creates strong and powerful emotional space for others to heal and others to be safe and to be seen and to be experienced freely. And I'm really excited to do it. And the way in which we're going to do it is, and what we're going to focus on is number one, connection, creating space every week for men to connect in a variety of different ways. Education, educating men on not only stories and moments of incredible feats and powerful masculine moments, but also feminine, and embodying the feminine energy within a man and learning to live in a balanced, authentic, natural way within yourself. An integration, space for you to confront yourself in areas in your life that you need to grow, to confront yourself in areas in your life that you want to explore, and confront yourself in your day-to-day life to rise, to build your own kingdom and to grow as a man. And I really believe that in this space, men, you will learn to communicate freely and learn to live in your power, live a life through the most authentic expression of who you are. And I'm really excited to bring this to the world. This is the summation of all the work that I've ever done. This is the thing in this moment that feels the most freeing for me. This is the thing that I want to share myself in, and I want to bring all of the tools, all the education, all the knowledge, the experience, the awareness, the clarity, the conviction, and the intuitive knowing that I have within myself, my heart, mentally, physically, spiritually. I want to bring that to all of you. I know how many of you are hurting. I know how many of you want more connection and deeper connection. I know how many of you are lost. I know how many of you are sad and angry. I see it on your faces. And I want to create a space for us to do this together. I want to create a space for us to have more of these experiences that I just had, more retreats, more groups, more connection, more communication, more love, more empowerment, more presence, more peace, more power, and ultimately more strong men and a happier, more joyful, more beautiful world that we can create together. So I wanted to share this with you. It's going to start August 1st. If this is something you're interested in, it's going to be a monthly membership experience that will also have other options as well. It's also going to, if you choose, you can also have some sessions with myself, etc. that can build that in. But ultimately, it's a monthly membership. It's all about education. It's all about connection. It's all about community. Man, I'm so freaking stoked. I can't even speak. Incredible. And it's all about integration. So if you feel like you are someone, you're a man out there who has seen anything that I've shared from any of the men's experiences that I've hosted, or the things that I write about are resonating with you in any way, shape, or form, just keep this in mind. There'll be an open enrollment initially for the next 2 weeks, and then I'm going to close it. I'll reopen it, close it, reopen it, close it. I want it to be almost like classes of men that are coming in, so there's space to integrate and learn who each other are as we bring in new groups of men each, quote, quarter or season, or however I choose to do it. So if this is something that you're interested in, you need to reach out very quickly, because I know for a fact that the network that I've created is going to have a lot of men who want to be a part of this. I know that what I'm bringing to the table is very unique, very special, and is going to be something that I spend the next 5 years of my life plus building and beyond. Who knows? I have so many plans and so many visions of how this can continue to grow, and I'm just beyond excited to share it with you. So again, if you feel like you're someone who is desiring to surround yourself with a strong group of men who want brothers in arms, who want to connect with other men, who want to reclaim their power, who want to experience more presence, who want to experience more peace, and who ultimately want to spend time integrating who you are and learning about who you are, bring that person into your life in all areas, mentally, physically, spiritually, personally, professionally, relationally, then this is something that I think will change your life. This is something that I think has the power to completely reinvent who you are and remember who you've always been. I can't begin to describe what having a strong group of men surrounding you can do for your life. I'm not going to bore you with sitting here for the next hour talking about all the benefits. If you know, you know. And if you don't, and if you feel pulled, then you know as well. You just haven't stepped into the power yet. You haven't stepped into the sauce. So I encourage you to do so, because this is the space to do it. This is what we're about. This is what the message of Leaders to Legends is. It's inspire you to reclaim your power, awaken your infinite potential, and change the world by changing yourself. This is a place for you to do so. If you're interested in being a part of the Leaders to Legends men's group, just reach out to me, DM me, or if you have my number and we're that close, text me, and we'll talk about it. Like I said, it's a monthly membership. I made it super reasonably financially accessible. It will go up every new round of people, but this first one is, I'm ready. So if you too feel in your soul that you're ready to surround yourself with great men, confront who you are, reclaim who you are, and channel that into a life of your dreams, a kingdom of inspiration. You want to be an angel of a safe haven, a legend. This is for you. DM me or reach out to me. Much love to you all. Be good and be safe. You already know. Legends find a way. Thank you, Ben, and everyone who was on this recent bachelor trip for inspiring this moment, this episode, this poem, this power that I know you can feel as I speak. And thank you for everyone who's ever been on a men's retreat for inspiring this experience right here, right now. And thank you for everyone I've ever worked with for helping me become someone who is a student of himself, a student of the world, a leader of men and women, and a legend in this world. Thank you. I look forward to spending time with you in the sauce. It's going to be sweet. My dudes, be good, be safe. Much love. You already know. Legends find a way. Peace, peace. Message me if you're ready. We out here.